And we're live, folks. We're live. Today I'm a little under the weather. I think I'm coming down with something. I've got so much to say, but I really don't want to say anything. Just such a disappointing game last night with the Mets and the Nationals in real life at Flushing. So disappointing. DeGrom pitched a hell of a game. I mean, honestly, he pitched a hell of a game. I'll play all of them. I need to play all of them. I should give Gonzalez a day off. You know, I'll give Gonzalez a day off. And I'll bring in Flores, who can play first. There's going to be a lot of sniffles today, folks. I'm a little under the weather. Such a disappointing game. I mean, we were up 6-1. DeGrom pitched, I think, 7 2/3. Or 8 1/3, I think. 8 1/3 inning, 12 strikeouts, 103 pitches. He leaves the 8th inning with 2 men on base. Callaway should have stuck with his guy. And we get people who can't get. Seth Lugo couldn't get it out. Blevins couldn't get the left-hander, which he hasn't. And I saw this coming. I mean, I'm not an optimist. I'm a very pessimistic person. And I saw this coming from a mile away. I knew the bullpen was going to implode sooner or later. I mean, you have AJ Ramos, who starts off every hitter basically on a 2-0 count. I mean, as soon as he is into the game, it's basically a 2-0 count with every hitter. He's pitched about 6 innings. He's got 4 walks, 5 walks. You can't sustain that as a reliever. You cannot sustain that. It is not sustainable. Blevins doesn't get his left-handers. Either he walks them or gives up hits, right? And we only got 1 left-hander in the pen. I don't feel comfortable with that either. Familia, it's like he's walking a tightrope every single night when he notches his saves. Yes, he has 7 saves, but the numbers don't tell the story. The numbers don't tell the entire story. You have to see the games. And I've seen every single New York Mets game this year. And the one that I didn't see, I heard it on WOR, right? Howie Rose. But I feel so bad for DeGrom. He pitched such a solid game. Such a solid game. And they let it slip. And Familia is the biggest. He's just, his body language betrays him. You can tell he doesn't want to be up there. You can tell that it's uncomfortable for him to not. You can see it in his face. He has good stuff. He does. Splitter, sinker, fastball, slider. But his makeup, his mental makeup is weak. He's weak. Such a disappointment. 6-1. 6-1 on the top of the 8th. It's just something else. Even when they made it 6-3, when Harper got that 2-run single, I was like, you know what? We can still get out of it. We can still get out of it. And then Familia comes in. He walks in a run, I think. No, I think Ramos walked in a run. He walked in a run. How can you walk in a run? A 4-pitch walk. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'd rather have them hit a grand slam or a 3-run shot than me walking a run, because that way I know they've earned it. They've earned it. I have not given it to them. Such a disappointment. And I'm actually on the clock here. I started at noon today at work. And the reason I'm trying to get this game in is because when I get out of work, I'll be watching the actual Mets game.
I can't tell you what this does for an infield or an outfield defense to be put on their.
Make sure to check out our, I think episode 19 of the AEG show. It's live on SoundCloud now. Check it out. It's a big meaty one. We're going to change the format up a bit, and we have starting with this latest show. So make sure to check it out.
You're putting yourself in a pretty good position to make it through the teeth of the lineup without a whole lot of stress.
But oh man, it was. Harper took them deep with a very impressive broken bat home run. The guy he's Bonds-esque. I mean, Bryce Harper is so impressive. He's such a tremendous hitter. That's probably gone. And that's gone. And I'll be honest, it's sort of starting off how it started off yesterday in real life. DeGrom faced him right away, hit a home run. But you know what? With 2 outs, I'm going to go right after. I'm not gonna pitch. I'm not gonna pitch around him. I'm a pitcher. I pitch to hitters. He's a hitter. I'm gonna pitch to him, and I'm gonna try to get him out. So,
Boy,
what are you
this
gonna
guy
do?
gets in a groove, he can hit him, and when he hits him in bunches. Hit a home run in last night's game, and if they continue to pitch him on the outer part of the plate,
hung the curveball.
look out, this guy's going to do some major damage.
He's impressive. There's no doubt about it. I think I think we have Zach Wheeler pitching tonight. But such an impressive start. Such an impressive start by Jacob deGrom. Dominant, even more dominant than Syndergaard's five and a third. That's how good he was.
Just simply Zim. He was selected in the first round back in 2005.
Yeah, Matty, they certainly got it right when they drafted this guy.
Oh man, and you know I'm gonna stay away from the tabloids today. I'm gonna stay away from the Post. I'm gonna stay away from the Daily News.
Time to take a look at the umpires in this one behind the plate.
Because I know how it is when it comes to New York sports, and they'll think the sky is falling, and rightfully so. The good thing about this is it's very early, and there's a lot of baseball to play. I mean, it's April, and it's even hot out yet. It's not summer yet. There is a lot of baseball to play. But it was a disappointment for sure. It wasn't disappointing because they lost, because I'm expecting them to lose games, obviously. It was disappointing the way they lost, the way the bullpen imploded in itself. I mean, it literally just imploded. And I saw it coming. I saw it coming a mile away.
Here's the first pitch to him. And a breaking ball stays outside.
Blevins hasn't been getting out the left-handers. AJ Ramos has been fucking walking the ballpark. He's walking the darn ballpark every game.
Yeah, Matty, this team has been playing really well right now, and this is case in point.
Robert Gazelman and Seth Lugo have really been the only semblances of stability. Robles has given up home runs. He gave up a home run last night to I forgot. I don't know what hitter he gave up a home run to. He gave up a home run last night. He gave up a home run to Harper in the series in Washington. He's given up like 4 home runs. That was his biggest problem in spring training. They need to just send him back to the minors, DFA his ass. I mean, Kadrubel's the only one who's hot. He's really hot. He had a home run last night. I think he was 4 for 5 or 3 for 4.
Towards second. Murphy has it on the first, and Cabrera's a ground out victim. 2 away. Next for the Mets, Michael Conforto having a very
Conforto's struggling a bit. They sat down Cespedes. To be fair, Hellickson pitched a pretty good game. But the fact that we were up 6-1 in the top of the 8th, inexcusable that the bullpen couldn't get 5 more outs. 5 more fucking outs, because I think DeGrom got an out. I may be wrong. Maybe DeGrom just pitched 8 innings. I thought it was 8 in the third. I'll have to check.
There's a swing and a drive hit well out to right
That's,
field. But
I just barely missed that.
Not in time, and he's in there with a double.
As we take a look at this one, you can see he puts a good swing on it, but I don't think he got her just enough to put some backspin to get it out of here. But hard to complain about a well-hit double, though.
Of course Ramos lost. Ramos is a scrub, man. Go look at the box. You guys will have to forgive me if this app just worked, please. Oh, DeGrom pitched 7 1/3. Okay. 7 1/3 innings. Yeah, 7 1/3, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts. I mean, he was. Look at this line. Lugo, 1 run, 1 earned run, no innings pitched. He came in. He came in, and gave up a run. Blevins, he came in and gave up a hit to Harper and an earned run. Ramos, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Familia, he gave up a hit, he gave up a walk, and he hit a hitter, which is not here. And Robles, 1 hit, 1 earned run, he gave up a home run. I mean, God, goodness, this is horrible, fucking horrible. It's not the end of the world, but
Here's the left fielder, Yoenis Cespedes. Slapped hard the opposite way. And nothing will come of the two-out double as the inning is over.
Try to enter right back, but
Following the two-out double. Don't go anywhere. More Tuesday night.
Murph.
Here's Daniel Murphy now. He drove in one of their 2 runs in last night's ball game. Here's the first pitch to him. And this one's down off the shoe tops, 1-0. Now the pitch. Changeup stays outside and he's behind 2-0. Now the 2-0.
Throw right down the middle, see what he does.
Is looked at for the first strike.
You know, he fell behind 2-0, Matty, but he battled right there and got right back in this count. An aggressive fastball middle of the zone.
There you go. Make him chase with a slider. There you go.
But a miss, he struck him out.
Here's the defensive alignment for the New York Metropolitans. And let's focus our attention on catcher Travis d'Arnaud.
The pitching is still important. I mean, we're going to score runs, right? We're going to hit home runs. I think we were tied for the National League lead in team home runs with I think 224 or 214. Don't quote me on it. So we're going to score runs. That we're going to do. But the pitching is what took us to the dance back in 2015, and the pitching is what will take us to the dance this year. It's all about the pitching. And there's a lot of chinks in the armor. I mean, Harvey's a question mark. Wheeler, Matz are question marks. The bullpen, as impressive as it has been a question mark. I mean, because although they had been successful, many of the pitchers, Familia, Ramos, Robles, have been walking the tightrope every single time. I mean, you look at Familia's numbers and you're like, wow, really impressive. He's got 7 out of 7 saves, right? Wow, that's nice. But when you see this guy pitch, he's weak. He's weak. He's mentally weak. He doesn't have it in him. You can see it. He doesn't have the makeup to be a closer. He is weak. He doesn't relish the moment. You can see it in his face. Like, he's uncomfortable out there when he's trying to notch down a save, right? Like his butt cheeks clamp up. He doesn't want to be there. And then when he does get a save, it's like this huge sigh of relief that he's just glad for it to be over with. When he should relish it. When he should want those moments. Fucking scrub.
And there is Jay Bruce. He'll start us out here in the home half of the second.
Again, playing me to pull.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch.
Up the middle.
Eaton has to roam straight back, but he has it for the first out.
Time for a look at the curly W on D. Let's spot shadow
Todd Frazier.
Harper, and why wouldn't we? He's only one of the best players in the game. He puts it on the line every night in the field and at the plate.
Adrian Gonzalez was also disappointing last night. Didn't get anything going, really. What's this guy got? He got fastball, 2-seamer, curve, and change.
All right, this is going to get interesting. Little 0-0 changeup right there. Little out in front. Let's see if he makes the adjustment and plays with the big part of the field.
And a pitch in the dirt as he lays off. It's 1-1. Frazier, or the Todd Father as he's affectionately called. He was a first-round pick back in the draft of 2007.
Yeah, Matty, they certainly got it right when they drafted this guy. He has turned himself into an absolute superstar. Everybody knows this guy's name.
There you go.
Buying his jerseys.
And that is through into center field for a 1-out single. Not in time.
There you go.
He's in there with a double.
Got to force the issue. You got to force the issue.
Next up from New York, Wilmer Flores. In head-to-head meetings with Gio Gonzalez, he's got 5 base hits in 23 at-bats. He's taken him deep once.
What is Mr. Met doing? This is PG-13, guy. Not X-rated. I put Wilmer because he crushes the lefty, so we'll see what he does here.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Missed with a breaking ball.
Had a game winner the other night. Walk-off. Wilmer, the Wilmer walk-off.
Good change up that time, but he wouldn't bite on
I'm constantly looking at my clock because I got to be at work at 12. And I hate being late to work. I mean, I say that like I'm constantly late. I'm not. I'm never late to work.
Hit the other way out toward right field. Harper on the run. He makes the catch and the runner from second will tag and head for third.
Where's the wind going? Okay.
And he's up to third safely now with 2 gone in the inning. So stepping in, Jacob deGrom, as he's got a chance to tie this ball game up with that equalizing run just 90 feet away at third.
The DeGrominator! Oh man, I feel so bad for DeGrom, man. He pitched such a fucking solid game. When you pitch games like that, you should fucking win, man. You should win when you pitch games like that. You should win.
Philosophy of hitting. As a pitcher, why not? Better than standing up there like you've never held a bat before.
Mets pitcher behind at the plate with a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs here with a runner at third.
I've seen some of the streams on YouTube, and I will admit that the washed out color sucks
and that will end the inning.
for the viewers. Like I've seen them and I'm like, this looks like shit, but it doesn't look shit to me when I'm playing. It looks nice because of the HDR. Actually, I have to plug our show again. The main topic is, and I think although it's vague for those that don't know what we're talking about, but I'll plug it here. The name of the show is I Can't Tell the Difference, and that's a fucking strike that you just missed, umpire. The title of this week's show is called I Can't Tell the Difference, and it was a topic brought up by our very own White Son, a topic that I very like, that I liked a lot. It's about whether or not, and I really shouldn't be rehashing it here, but it's basically whether or not gaming outlets and gaming journalists, IGN, GameSpot, Giant Bomb, etc., whether or not Waypoint, all these folks, whether or not they should make comparison videos between comparison 4K videos between Xbox One X and Scorpio, because a lot of the folks who watch these videos, or his argument was that many of the folks who watch these videos may not have the equipment to tell the difference. And although I agree with him, I disagree. Wait a minute. I put double play when I shouldn't have. I'll get the double play.
Here it comes. Now a bunt attempt here. Throw to second, and they get him. So the sacrifice attempt is unsuccessful here, but they won't get 2.
Get the lead runner.
The relay to first.
His argument was that they shouldn't make them. And I'm just not, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that they shouldn't make them. Just because you may not have the equipment at the time, and just because you don't have a 4K TV, or you don't have a phone capable of outputting at 4K, that they shouldn't make the videos. I think that's preposterous. I mean, I didn't quite say it because I don't want to be the, I didn't want to play devil's advocate, although I did say that they should make them. But I disagree with this notion of you shouldn't create these comparisons videos. The adoption of 4K TVs it's much higher in comparison. The adoption rates in comparison to HD TVs in 10, 15 years ago.
Here it comes on 0-2.
So 4K adoption, it's gonna get there, and I promise you that the next generation consoles, the Xbox One 2 or Xbox 720, whatever they're gonna call it, or the PS5, they are going to be primarily 4K consoles. That will be the target, 4K. Right, that is the future. And my argument was that it depends where you get your information from. So, like, I would never search for a comparison video from IGN or GameSpot, because their demographic isn't like these tech heads. Right, I'll go to Digital Foundry, I'll go to VG Gamers, I'll go to Red Gaming Tech on YouTube. These folks, that's what these folks concentrate on. And for those who don't necessarily have the equipment, Digital Foundry writes amazing articles, in-detail articles with screenshots explaining the differences, the profound differences between a 4K Far Cry 5 and a 1440p Far Cry 5 on PS4 Pro.
1-2. And he'll stay alive here as this is chopped foul at the plate. It'll remain 1-2. Here's another 1-2. And a neck-high fastball that time.
Done a lot of pitches in these 3 innings.
Breaking pitch, and this bounces in front of the catcher.
Full count with 2 outs now, so if he can put the ball in the gap somewhere, he could have a good shot of driving in a run.
I got Harper.
Will be in motion.
Damn right, I'm going right after Harper.
So that's going to move a runner into scoring position now with 2 away. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Just got a
pitching him away.
That time as his chop foul.
Try to backdoor slider.
Strike 1. 0-1 the count to Bryce Harper. And that one just missed outside.
2 walks in this inning already, so he can't expect to stay out there much longer if he puts somebody else on. We'll see if he can find it.
And that's high and off.
Okay.
2-1.
Those were 2 great executed pitches right there away from this batter. He can hurt you in a heartbeat. I don't think anything's going to leak out over the heart of the plate.
And the pitch on 2-1.
Goodness.
He's fallen behind now, 3-1.
He's gotten himself into a little bit of trouble out here. Middle of the order up in a run-scoring situation, and now he might have to challenge him. Going to have to make some good pitches here.
And he fouls this one off. Gonzalez at second. Defoe on at first with 2 down.
Oh.
Lifted down the line in left.
He was on that curveball.
Will end up a foul ball.
Going right after this guy.
Now,
There you go. I got my guy.
And missed, and that is out number 3. A couple of walks, but no damage. Back with more here on a Tuesday night. After the
That was a little intense.
Here's the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud.
17 pitches in 2 innings.
At bat of this early season contest. First pitch of the at bat on its way.
I was an early adopter. I got a PS4 Pro on day 1. I got a 4K TV a month later, right? And when you, as a consumer, when you buy a 4K TV, it's such a new technology, and it's constantly shifting, where the standards haven't been set. Where if you ask me, if you're a layman, I'll tell you, just wait, man. Don't get anything now. Literally, just wait. But if you want to make the jump, then you have to be willing to commit, and you have to be willing to know what your budget is. You have to be willing to know what you're willing to get and what you're not willing to get. And most importantly, you have to do your research. You have to do your homework, right? You have to say, well, what's the difference between a Sony and an LG? What's the difference between HDR10 and Dolby Vision? What's the difference between HDR10 and HDR10 Plus? What's the difference between an LCD LED TV and a OLED TV? What's the difference between an IPS panel and a VA panel? It's so much. It's just so much information that I know the regular layman is not going to do. I'm the exception. Many folks like me, I wouldn't say I'm tech-minded, but I'm very OCD about things. I got to do my research. I got to read about it. I got to know what it is that I'm doing. Right. So I did my research when I bought my TV. I said, I have a 55-inch. Wow. Okay. I need to focus.
Stepping in and ready for another shot as Drupal Cabrera.
I'm looking for something to pull. He's giving me just soft stuff.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And a fastball just below the knees, ball 1.
When I bought my TV, I had a 55-inch 2013 Bravia Sony TV, the KDL 802WA. At the time, it was one of the top-tier LCD LED TVs, especially for gaming, because it had like a 16.9 millisecond input lag, which is very low for a TV of its size. I know monitors go lower, but we're not talking about monitors, we're talking about televisions here. I knew what my budget was. My budget was, I'm not going to spend more than $1,500. The TV needs to be a 65-inch TV. I didn't know anything about 4K or HDR, so I did research. I read that not all HDR televisions are the same. Some have 8-bit panels, some have 10-bit panels, some have 12-bit panels. Based on what I read, and my understanding may be shoddy, but based on what I read, it's basically the amount, the range of available colors that a TV is able to display at any given time, depending on the content. So, for example, let's say there's a TV show, and the TV show is capable of, and I'm making this shit up, right? It's just to give an example. Let's say there's a TV show, and this TV show produced by Disney is able to on the right television give off a range of 0 to 10 million different colors. I'm making it up. I'm making it up. With an 8-bit television, out of those possible 0 to 10 million colors, you can only see a maximum of 2 million, right? On a 10-bit panel, you can see a maximum of 5. And on a 12-bit panel, you can see the whole maximum of 10, right? So there's ranges. There are limitations to what the TV can display based on the panel. So 12-bit panels aren't really a thing right now, right? So I told myself, if I'm going to get a 4K TV and I want it to display HDR properly, it needs to be a 10-bit panel. So based on that, I was able to knock off a whole bunch of TVs that I knew I wasn't going to buy simply because it didn't meet my 10-bit panel criteria, right? And then there was a whole bunch that I cut off because they were exceeded my $1,500 budget.
It's early in the count, and he wanted to get
right?
ahead.
So I could cut off a whole bunch of TVs at 50. Any TV that wasn't 55 inches, that wasn't 65 inches, I could cut off automatically. Any TV that didn't fit my $1,500 budget, I could cut off automatically. And then there were the compromises that I had to make. I'm like, well, what compromises am I willing to make? Input lag wasn't one of them. Size wasn't one of them. 4K and HDR wasn't one of them. Right? I was very lucky that I got a deal on the TV that I got. Right? I got it literally like for $14.30 with taxes and everything. I was very, very lucky to get the deal that I got on the TV that I wanted. Man, I gotta take another shit. And it's 9:40.
Outfield shaded toward right center. Here's the first pitch. Swing, line, drive.
Another double.
That's going to be trouble. Running hard. He's digging for second. And he's going to get to second now with nobody out. The baseball's a game of streaks and runs, and he is on one right now.
No question, he's swinging the bat very well of late. And when that's the case, you can't wait to get in the batter's box. Definitely the case in this game. That's his second base knock. This one for extra bases.
That's now 2 hits so far for him in this one.
Please throw me something inside.
Here's the first pitch to him. Takes a knee-high fastball.
So, you know, when you buy a 4K TV, you have to do your homework. You just can't buy randomly. You have to do your homework, and you have to know what you're willing to. Like, for example, if you tell yourself, I'm only going to spend $500, well, know that you're going to get $500 worth of TV. Know that, right? You can't say I'm only going to spend $500 to $600, but I expect to get, you know, $3,000 type of product. No, that's not how it works.
Line towards center field. And that's in there. Base hit. And the run will score from second as this ball game is tied 1 apiece.
Boy, a big game yesterday from these guys, D-Row. It takes them a little while to get through on the score column, but finally they get through in the middle part of this game. Yeah, Dan, yesterday it was a fight to get to the bat rack. Everybody was squaring balls up left and right. Today, not the same. Pitcher's been executing, but they were able to dial it in. Hopefully that's the breakthrough.
I'll take a risk once in a while with certain runners like Conforto and Cespedes. And I still on the right pitch, too.
The 1-0. And great extension as he drives this one high.
Get up, ball. Get up.
But he's going to haul this one in.
Oh my God, does he have me?
He winds up just shy of the wall for the first out. And a daring move there pays off as he'll make it into third on the.
It's all about manufacturing those runs. I got a hit, and I drove it around with Cespedes. I stole second. I tagged up. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Drive the ball over the right side of the field. Get this runner home. Smart baseball. Station to station. So yeah, going back to the 4K TV thing, you have to do your homework. And I understand that not everybody wants to do the homework. I understand that not everybody has the time. I'll make the time because I enjoy those type of things. I enjoy reading up on those things. For those folks who are listening to this or who do watch this, I recommend to read. Just literally Google CNET and Jeffrey Morrison. And any question that you have regarding 4K TVs, just Google it, and his name will pop up. Jeffrey Morrison is like the fucking Bible. His articles are so detailed, and they're so considerate of the layman. in which they go and, you know, like he takes his time to explain, hey, for those that don't know what this is what this means, this is how it'll affect you or your TV. It's amazing. It's nerdy, but he
Here now the 2-2. Oh, and this goes right past Montero all the way to the screen.
Fuck.
And the recovery will be in time to get him at the plate, and that's going to hurt because now there are 2 away.
Oh my God! I just reminded myself of Cabrera making the second out at third. My God! With the tying run at the plate, I redeemed myself with the home run, but I don't know whether I was a awful one.
It's a solo home run for Todd Frazier. Home run number 5 on the year, and the Mets move out to a 2-1 lead.
I don't know where that ball landed because Frazier was blocking it. But I took it for a ride.
That's one of those pitches you wish you could take back as soon as it leaves your hand.
Where did it land?
Guess what? There are no delete or rewind buttons in baseball.
Oh wow, second deck.
And it was a good job by his opponent to make him pay for it.
Stepping in now, Wilmer Flores. Popped him up.
Pop up.
Murphy moving to his left.
So yeah, he what he does is when he writes his articles, he gives the reader the vocabulary. He'll explain to the reader what certain things are, so that way when he uses certain technical terms, you'll know what those terms are. And that's the great thing about Morrison as a writer that I've enjoyed, as somebody who came in looking for information who knew nothing about TVs. It's great.
Very difficult to rebound and quite frankly dominate after getting roughed up a bit in the first inning of a start. So I'll give him a lot of credit for what he's been able to do.
High and deep down the left field line. And a changeup swung on and missed for the first out. An early look at the line score here tonight as we play the top of the 5th. And boy, just one lone hit for the visitors this evening as they've been taken to task by this starter. And this pitch is taken on the inner half for strike 1. Now he spins on one here and drives it to deep right field. Bruce.
I'm like, stay in the ballpark. Stay in the ballpark now.
Put it away for the second out. Riding in once again, Gio Gonzalez reached by way of a fielder's choice his first time around.
Ah, these Mets.
Looking at a fastball for a strike on the corner. 5th inning, 2-1 our score. This now is hit to second. Does he have another 1-2-3 inning?
Of course he does.
7 in a row he's set down now, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for Washington. They're down 2-1. Stepping up now, Jacob deGrom. He was a strikeout victim in his first
I love this. I love this New York Post article by Mike Vaccaro. Mets can't let one awful inning be season's defining moment. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's the beginning of the season. We are in April, folks. It is not time to panic. I know it's New York. I know it's high stakes, right? And that's the great thing about the city. It's the great thing about this city, especially when it comes to sports. Fall. There you go. Ground rule double. Nice.
Hey, this is what every hitting coach teaches when he's
I'll take it. I mean, look at him. His butt flew up. His butt went to the right side. The ball went to the left side. And there you go. Push this run in. Move the runner over to third. Less than 2 outs. Let's do this.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. Very weakly on the ground, but it gets fouled. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground down the first base.
I'm trying to take it to right.
This will be a foul ball as he's behind 0-2 now. Two quick strikes, and now the 0-2. Still no balls and 2 strikes.
I'm trying to zip through these innings, really. I'm just thinking about work. I'm like, I gotta get to work. I mean, I always take a cab to work. And there you go. That's what I...
opposite way. That's in there. Base hit. And they'll get it in quickly. It's first and third now with nobody out.
Hey, this has the makings of being a pretty big inning, D-Row. Lead-off double, now a base hit, and all of a sudden we're looking at first and third.
Yeah, sometimes you wake up and just get smacked in the mouth right here. He's going to have to start executing pitches. He cannot leave a ball over the heart of the plate right here. He's going to have damage on his hands.
Line towards center field. A dive, but it'll get past him out in center, and this could roll till tomorrow.
Come on, dude. What are you doing?
And a relay to the plate. But he's safe at third as he's able to scramble back. And they'll get the man at third here at least, but in the interim, a run has come in to score.
That was my fault. I screwed up. I screwed up the base running.
Spot here. Runner at third, one away. And that'll bring in the second baseman, Asdrubal Cabrera. Here comes the first pitch.
Oh, come on. Did he beat me in? What the fuck?
Rosario takes his lead at third with one away.
Sometimes the physics of it is just weird. Like, I'll foul the ball to right, thinking I'm late,
Right there.
but it says I'm early. It's the craziest thing.
Meanwhile, the runner is in to score.
Doubles machine, Michael Conforto.
Michael Conforto. He came across to score after doubling in his last at-bat. First pitch coming. Here it is. Tap down the line. To his right, Zimmerman. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over.
All right.
In now is to start things out in their half of the sixth. As they look to shake things up here for a lineup that, quite frankly, has been non-existent today.
No doubt about that, Matt. They've been completely overmatched to this point. One hit through 5 innings. I mean, what else can you say about the pitching they faced other than it's been fantastic? We'll see if that continues as we approach the later inning. This guy's pitching really well in this one so far. You can just see he's awful confident, attacking the strike zone, and when he comes off the mound at the end of the inning, looks like he stepped in a big old fucking assassin.
He's upset.
So it was a strikeout swinging. Adam Eaton goes down to become the first out in the 6th inning. What's your take on all the strikeouts we see in the game today, Dan? That was his 3rd tonight, and it seems we're seeing that a lot more these days.
Yeah, Matt, there's been a real change in philosophy as far as hitting in baseball today. A lot of guys think now that an out is an out, a strikeout is just as good as a regular out, but we're seeing strikeouts at an alarming rate in baseball right now.
And here now is Wilmer Defoe. Comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Grounded up the first baseline.
Mr. Defoe.
Foul ball, strike 2. Strike 3 on a pitch in the dirt. Darno has it, and the throw to first is there to record the second out. Digging
Mr. Harper.
Bryce Harper. First 2 men of the inning have both gone down via the punch-out, so we'll see if he can fare any better.
Oof.
Called a strike on the outer half. 0-1. 0-1 the count to Bryce Harper. A fastball that just misses inside.
You know, he's one of their guys they rely on to get their offense going. They need a rally, so we'll see if he can spark one here.
And he will strike him out. 10 now in the ballgame.
Struck out the side.
Is over. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. Not too shabby. Don't go. Digging in and looking for more, Yoenis Cespedes. He's singled in 2 trips to the plate thus far.
You know, Matt, and every team has that one guy, and Yoenis Cespedes
I
is
missed
that
it.
guy for the Mets. Completely changes that complexion of that Mets betting order.
Therefore, it is Eaton, and he's got it for the first out. Here's Jay Bruce now.
I think the ball is in his hand. That's the craziest shit.
Right side and right into the shift. To his left, Defoe. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
Mr. Frazier.
Pick things up where we left off. Todd Frazier, 2 hits in 2 trips for him thus far.
Well, you don't see this very often, Matty V. A two-strike straight changeup. But this guy changeup is one of the best in the league. We'll see if he tries that different approach this time. And maybe if he gets to 2 strikes, try to use the fastball a little bit more than that straight changeup.
Reaches out for one and hits it on the ground.
Darn right.
And that finds its way through for a base hit. And they're going to hold him to a single here as they do a nice job of getting it back in quickly.
Dan, with that single, he's now 3/4 of the way to hitting for the cycle. Toughest one still on the shelf, though. He's got to get a triple.
The triple's the toughest one.
That's one of those that's either got to hit right down the line or one of those tweeters.
Ooh.
Hold on here. Well hit into
Right
deep
to left center.
And I don't
He-
think this
he-
one's coming back. No,
he
siree,
hung
this
that
one is
curveball.
gone.
That's why I play Wilmer. He hits against the lefties.
So a 2-run shot to left center. Second home run early in the year. And it's now a 6-1 ball game.
The Wilmer strut.
You can just see the wheels turning in his mind on the mound out there. I was cruising, just needed one more out, then give up a single and a homer? Goes to show you, you can never take an out or a pitch for granted in this game.
Is he out?
His way out to the mound now is the Washington manager.
Yeah, he's out.
And a change is coming up.
Chased his
It's
ass.
going to be all for Gio Gonzalez. 5 2/3 innings of work on his final ledger as he was not particularly sharp from the get-go here.
I'll give DeGrom another inning.
Standing in now, Jacob DeGrom. Popped him up. And that'll do it in the inning as the catch is made in the coach's box. But the Mets do strike.
He hung a curveball.
Coming on this 2-run home run. 4, 5, and 6 coming up to start. Welcome back to Citi Field in Flushing. Getting set for the 7th inning now with the Mets out on top. But first, let's check out the game summary through the first 6 innings of baseball. No balls and a strike to count. The 0-1 pitch. A swing and a miss on a ball that jammed him.
I think a big reason why he's been so effective in this one, that he's been just about getting ahead of every hitter.
Yeah.
Seems like every one of them are 0-2, 1-2, and just about every at bat. And when that's the case, your chances of getting a good pitch to hit are way worse.
Another strikeout for him on the mound, and boy, is it fun to watch him go about his business.
No doubt, Matty. He's one of my favorites.
I wish they showed the montages of like all your strikeouts. I've noticed they used to do it more often in MLB 2017, where they would show like the last pitch of every strikeout you had up until a certain point. It was awesome. I wish they did that more often.
Really been an amazing transition for Daniel Murphy. Known more as an average type hitter, Matt, when he was a member of the New York Mets, but since he's put on a Nationals uniform, boy, the power surge has come and it has not stopped.
Way outside, nearly to the backstop. 2-1.
These guys have got to be frustrated as an offensive unit so far in this one. They haven't been able to crack the code on their opponent, but it's not like they're getting great pitches to hit either. This starter has kept the ball on the corners of the zone all game long.
Here comes the first pitch. And the fastball just a bit high. 1 run, just 1 hit, and no errors so far for the Nationals. 2 balls and no strikes to Anthony Rendon.
Boy, this is a spot you really don't want to be in with a great hitter like this. 2-0 count.
And he connects with it. This one's hit deep out to left center field. And goodbye. This one ain't coming back.
2-0 count, fastball down the middle. What did I expect?
Anthony Rendon connects on a solo shot. 4th home run here in the early going.
Don't call it a
As the lead
comeback.
is cut to 4. It's 6-2 now.
Well, the word around the league is that this is a pitcher's ballpark, but it's certainly not playing that way in this one. The last bomb makes it 4 home runs between these two teams, and we might not be done yet.
Into the box now, Michael Taylor. As he'll take a look at ball 1. Here it comes, 1-0. Well hit, but also well fouled into the seats in left.
Can't imagine he comes back with a third breaking ball. That hitter looked like he timed that one up pretty well and just missed it, fouling it away.
So he chases a slider. This is the Grom's last inning for sure. And I hung it, but I got away with it.
12 punch-outs now in the ball game, and that'll end the inning. But the Nationals draw one back on the
full extension. He hit right through it.
Here's the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud.
And we'll get Blevins.
First pitch on its way. Swing, line, drive. That's going to be troubled. On his way to second is d'Arnaud. And he will coast into second with a leadoff double.
Managers these days like to think of that 9-hole hitter as the second leadoff man, and he plays the role pretty well right here. Gets the leadoff double.
I love having that hitter in the 9-hole, man. I've been doing it since MLB 2017.
A ball and no strikes.
d'Arnaud was also my number 9 hitter. I just think it deepens my lineup. I know people will disagree, but I think it deepens my lineup. See, you don't have to worry about that in the National League. I mean, the American League. Because they got that whack-ass designated hitter. That's why they call it the junior circuit.
Now the 2-0. High in the air out to center field after it is eaten. He gets there to put it away, but the runner tags and breaks for third. And he'll make it up to third safely here with one away. Here now is Asdrubal Cabrera, 4th trip to the plate for him, and he's at risk of ending that nice hitting streak that he's.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
he had a 4th.
It's on his mind, Matt, but you just have to let that get out of the way.
Oh, and there you go.
You have to approach this at bat just like any other. Otherwise, you're just getting in your own way.
Hitting streak is alive and well.
And now he's able to scramble back to second safely, as also on the play a run comes across to score. So much of this game is situational hitting, guys. Nice job there.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to pick your teammates up when you're given the chance, and he doesn't try to do too much right here. He just takes what's there. Safely on second, and his buddy is high-fiving teammates in the dugout.
In now, Michael Conforto, as he takes a called strike on the black. It's 0-1. So far, 2 for 3 in this one.
I want to finish the game in the next 15-20 minutes.
This is pulled into right. And that's taken in straightaway right. Will he try from second? He will not. Not willing to risk ending the inning by being tagged out, and there are 2 away. Ready for another chance? Yoenis Cespedes. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Here comes the first pitch. Back up the middle and in for a base hit.
And there you go.
Tack on another here as the runner scores from second. It's an 8-2 game.
And 28 RBIs in 15 games, 16 games. That's crazy.
Being taught high velocity, go get ahead, strike one. Boy, that didn't work in that situation.
Yeah, guys have such put-away pitches, Dan. You don't want to go super deep in the count. Find yourself with 2 strikes on you, and here comes a nasty slider or a nasty split finger. He had an approach right there. He wanted to use an ambush tactic, and it worked.
Ball 1 to start the at-bat. The 1-0.
Oh!
Belted and take a look
And I
at
hit with
this.
power. I
Deep
cheated there.
to right center field, and it's gone.
I totally hit the ball with power.
A 2-run homer for Jay Bruce. Home run number 5 on the year as they've widened this lead to 8 now. We're watching an impressive power display today. With that one, these 2 teams have now hit a combined 5 homers in this game.
Yeah, Matt, it's always tough to score runs here at this big ballpark in Citi Field. Heck, D-Roll, they've moved the fences in a couple of different times here to make it easier for the Mets hitters.
You know, this has been such an impressive hitting performance today by this offense, considering the fact that we're in Citi Field. Although
And we'll have to leave it there as the play is made here to...
Your attention, please.
Alright, brothers, do your fucking job.
Here's the catcher now, Miguel Montero. The head-to-head numbers against Jerry Blevins. Just a couple of matchups, no hits in 2 at-bats. First delivery to him on the way. Here's a sinker to start him out, but he wouldn't bite. It's ball 1. As we near the end of this one, it's clear the long ball has played a big role in today's outcome. Dan, Devo, what are your final thoughts on what we've seen?
Yeah, just non-competitive pitches in some big situations, Dan, and the offense took full advantage. Yeah, you know, Devo, one of the things about pitching is you want to have location, and there was obvious in this one today that the pitchers weren't on point, and what happens when that happens? Hitters make you pay, and the long ball was a big part of this one here.
Hit back toward the mound. Step on the bag for 1.
There you go.
First, and that's the very last thing they needed at this point in the ball game, as there are quickly 2 away now. Final line there for the Mets starting pitcher. He was great all night long.
Don't worry, DeGrom.
So
the whack-ass bullpen wasn't able to get you a win, but I got you, bro.
4 outs remaining for them to try and rally back in this one. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. A 1-1 count to the Nationals leadoff batter. 1-2 now to Adam Eaton.
He's gone to the well with that pitch 3 times in a row. I'm interested to see if he changes it up right here.
This is flared right back over the mound. Throw on to first, and that error won't come back to haunt him after all, as the inning is over. Sean Kelly enters now in a mop-up role as he'll try to keep the deficit right where it is. Digging in once again, Wilmer Flores. His past history with Sean Kelly.
Sorry for being quiet. I'm just like focusing. I want to finish this game quick.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Drilled on the ground to short.
Oh,
an offline throw.
nice.
A good tag this time to get his man anyway. So here's the Mets pitcher, Jerry Blevins. And he's getting his first plate appearance here in the 8th after entering off the bench just a little bit ago. Brandon Nimmo will move into the on-deck circle now to try to get something started.
Nimmo will take over somebody.
In the inning. He pulls this one into right. And the pinch hitter will
Nimmo's a solid hitter. I think he had a triple yesterday. Solid hitter.
Striding in once again, Travis d'Arnaud. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. From the stretch. High pop-up. And 8 innings have come and gone now as the inning is over. Down in order go the Mets. The 7 train making its stops just outside Citi Field as we welcome you back inside for the remainder of baseball on the show. Paul Sewald comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the 9th. And here now is Wilmer Defoe.
Throw right down the middle. Hopefully somebody catches it.
As they face the improbable odds of trying to come back in this one.
Yeah, not a lot of hope for them at this point. These guys know these bats still count, at least for their own stats. You can't mill in your chances as a professional. Talk about challenging a guy.
Boom.
He offered up 2 in a row right down the chute, and the batter didn't even flinch. Gotta wonder what he was looking for.
All right, Harper will get a freebie here. 1 pitch, do something with it.
First out in the 9th inning.
Oops. And he missed. No, it's gone, but it's foul. I'll give him another one.
It'll wind up a foul ball.
I know it's a guessing game, but usually when you
flip
that coin, it better come up.
That's all you'll get, Harper.
Level. You cannot be late right there.
Gotta go for the strikeout.
Ripped down the first base line. And he'll step on first himself for the out. Here's Ryan Zimmerman now. He's hitless coming into this at-bat, so the hit streak he's been riding is on the line here.
Yeah, he's up in the
Thank you for joining us, folks. This has been another game brought to you by Average Everyday Gaming. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at AverageGaming17. Make sure to check me out on Twitter at Deuce_7. 7 is always spelled S-E, the number 7-E-N. Please make sure to check out our show and our podcast on SoundCloud and YouTube, the AEG show. I think today's episode 19 has gone live. It's been live a couple hours now. Make sure to check out our content on Twitch and YouTube, Average Everyday Gaming. Have a great night, everybody.
Gets the loss after giving up up 6 earned. So that just about does it. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way on over to theshownation.com.